see that there is nothing on the web page, and sorry, yeah. So you can see the title is document. Okay. Now, if we we are done with title. Now comes the body. The body tag contains all the HTML elements which will be shown in the web page. Okay, so the basic tags which we will be starting with are the heading tags. So there are mainly 6 heading tags. Just a second. You can do this by pressing Alt Shift. So this will give you multi cursors. So you can type to all of them at once. Okay. So H2, H4, H5, H6. Okay. So you can see the H1 tag is the biggest tag, like the font size of H1 is the biggest, and the smallest one is H6. Okay, and there must be only one H1 tag in your web page. So because you have only one heading for a web page, a main heading, then you can have other subheadings, but there should be only one H1 tag, and this H1 tag helps the search engine to get relevant results. Okay. Uh, Next is our paragraph tag.
One thing, I talked about SEO, right? Some questions were asked about what is SEO and how is it relevant. H1 and H6, like these things are really important for SEO. When you write something, like we have only one H1 tag, right? And anything that's written inside it is basically like considered to be the most important part of the body, because like for indexing by web browsers. So what's the, like, so if someone is searching, say suppose t-shirts under 1,000, and if suppose your title for the web page is t-shirts under 1,000, let's just say it's the very messed up analogy, but it's t-shirts under 1,000. So the web browser will basically look for a website whose H1 is this one, like t-shirts under 1,000. Okay, and if it's matching, then it will load it. And if you can master this thing, like how to basically write correct stuff and what like under what context, like H1 is important, like you can ignore it a bit, like what goes inside, but it's recommended that after you make certain websites and like you're hosting things online, then do not do that. Please keep in mind that H1 to H6 is the game changer. Shivansh, take it.
Yeah, I also realized that I missed these meta tags. So these meta tags also help search engines to fetch results like these are actually metadata. So what metadata means is data about data. So it just tells whatever is inside, whatever this website is all about, so that the search engine can, like here you can put keywords. Okay, let me not type that out. So you can basically just put keywords so that if the website is about HTML tutorial, so you can put the keywords as HTML tutorial, so that it is easy for the search engine to fetch this website. Uh, okay, so now let's move on with the body elements. Next is paragraph tag. Okay, so what paragraph tag is, it helps us create paragraphs. So, and another function of VS Code is that if you type lorem and whatever number of dummy words you need, suppose I need 20 dummy words, and you press tab or enter, it gives you 20 dummy words. Okay, so you can see here we got 20 words, and so this basically is like paragraph.
Is
So
that the website which you're showing in the other tab?
yeah,
Means
whatever I'm
sort of.
typing, yeah, whatever I'm typing, this is
Yeah.
what it looks like. Let me do one thing. Yeah, whatever I will do in the left hand side, it will be reflected on the web browser in the right hand side. Yeah.
Okay. So how can you do it? Like you are doing it in your computer, so it might be connected to the web, but how it is displaying it on your screen in a web browser, that I couldn't understand.
Okay, there are two ways of doing that. Either you can drag the file to the web browser and open it like this, but the problem with this is that whenever you make any change, let's say you add another paragraph to lorem 100. Okay, the problem with this is that when you open it with live server, see, I didn't press F5, but it automatically loads the changes whichever I made. But in case you open it locally, this actually creates a server locally, so that's why it auto refreshes whenever any changes happen. But if you open it like drag and drop it to the web browser, then you every time you need to press F5 to so that it reflects the changes. So you only need to press you only need to click on open with live server and it will automatically open it for you. Okay. Yeah, so let me delete this. Okay, so the next tag is image tag. So image tag, now I told you that almost every tag has an opening tag, which is the like angular tag, then the whatever tag its name, and then the closing angular tag. And then for to close it, you just need to put a slash. But there are some tags which do not have any closing tag, and they are known as empty tags. Okay, so why is it so? Because they are they do not contain any element. Like, what will image contain? We only need to specify its source. Okay, there is no text within an image. So for the source, you can either, okay, pixabay, oh sorry, this is a really good website if you want copyright free images, and attribution is also not necessary. So like if you need web development, and here you can get
Actually,
different.
some part of web development is really like YouTube. Like the problem is sometimes if we use some other people image or some others people license, then we have to mention it. Otherwise, we will get a copyright. So now we have a solution like and we won't get any copyright.
Yeah, it may be an image, it may be code. So every time if you are using
Right.
anything which has copyright, then you must give attribution. Okay, so here you can
Right.
choose your vector graphic illustration, but now let's just simply choose an image for, okay, let's take this one. So there are two ways. Either you can download it and use it locally, like it's on your local computer, or what you can do is you can copy the image address.
Just show them the online version right now. Like, don't go over path because we have less time today.
Oh, okay. So you can see that uh, it loads the image. Now there are this alt. Here you need to type anything which, in case this image doesn't load. Let's say I make any change, silly change. Now the image will not load, as you can see. But this may be the case if this image is really huge, like it's 2 to 3 MB, and the user which is opening this website doesn't have a good connection, then the image may not load. So this alternate text, what it does is that suppose you type web development. Okay, so in case this image doesn't load, this alternate text is shown up. So if someone has a poor internet connectivity, then he can understand that here is an image which is not able to load, but he gets to know that this is a image related to web development. Now there are two other attributes, like one is height. Now this is not recommended, but like it's a convention to teach, so I am teaching, but you will it's not a good practice to define height and width of an image using the height and width attributes, but you will use CSS for this because CSS is for styling purpose. uh,
Can I
it's
ask a question? As you're showing this height thing, like
Yeah.
a few days ago, I saw in one of the tech channels that one of the means Instagram users had hacked some not hacked, but means had shut it off completely. Means their phone was not working. I think its name was PJ Talal, because just because Instagram doesn't support big pictures, like here you have selected 150px, but what if you select 15 then 8 zeros and then px? I think the website which you're using right now, I think it also won't support that sort of a big image. Right, I'm talking about it, Mr. Who's the Boss video. Yeah, yeah, right. In
No,
chat someone is
actually this is not the size of the image, this is just the height and width of the
See,
image.
file size is different from the size which gets displayed on the browser. Okay? So when we talk
okay.
about the file size, those are in MBs. This is the dimensions. Like consider a rectangle. A rectangle has a certain length and breadth, right? So this is
Right.
basically that. But that rectangle can have a certain density of things. Like suppose if you're throwing grains inside it, it could have 100 grains, and it could also have 1 million grains. It's basically the density which is the file size, but this is basically the dimensions of the image. Even if you have a 1 KB image, which has 10 to the power 6 pixels, like the width and height, it will get loaded perfectly fine. Like it will be very bad on your end and for the user, but it's going to get loaded. There's no issue with that.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So are there any other questions? Okay, so let's start with the next tag, which is the anchor
Shivansh,
tag.
Shivansh, Shivansh,
Yeah.
wrap it up. We'll do it next session. People have to leave now.
Oh, okay.
We are over time.
Yeah. So we just need to make one announcement. So we will be having a quiz on Sunday. So it will be open throughout the day. So whenever you are free, you can take it, and the link for the same will be shared to you. And it's not some it will only be related to what we taught you today. Okay, so you need not prepare it for it. It will basically be very easy. Okay, so yeah, I think
Like
it's
MCQ
We
type?
9.
like today we also had to explain BR tag and the anchor tag, but we couldn't because of time related issues. So we'll be uploading this PPT online so that you can access it later on, and also the video so that you can just have a reference, because I know we explained a lot today. So just ignore those bits if you do not want to go over it, because we'll be explaining it later on. Okay? So if you have any questions, you can ask us, or we'll be ending the session. Also,
Oh,
like
that will be great if you can forward the file.
yeah, I'll be uploading. I'll be posting. Me or Shivansh will be posting a drive link which has all the resources from different sessions. So like you can have an access to it anytime you want. Also, you can ask us things like on the dev questions chat, and also on our DMs or something. But like in between sessions, just do it what is relevant. Like when
Yeah.
you get the video recordings, Atish will be uploading a drive link. Okay, so do not get worried about that.